You're listening to Unkillable.
If you didn't kill us last night, we are unkillable.
Hosted by Brandon Tierney.
The Mets should have been done, and I mean done, by July, and they weren't. And right now, it's not an exact parallel because the Jets had expectations and the Mets had none. But here we are. This is the line of delineation. They either give a shit about their uniform, all right, and their teammates and the city and the logo, or they don't. And that's it. That's it. If they come out and they lose, and I mean, even if, let's say, Rodgers, I know the hamstring's a bit of an issue. Let's say he plays and he tweaks it a little bit more, and Tyrod's in there, and they lose. It does. I don't care. Because one of the things that we all said was, I know I said this, if the Jets had a better backup situation last year behind Aaron Rodgers with that defense, once Rodgers went down, they probably would have squeezed out 2 more wins, maybe 3, and would have been a playoff team. What's different now? What's different? Actually, if anything, they have a little more talent, except on the front line, front stop in the run. So the excuses are over. It's go time. And in my gut, they're going to come out and they're going to win on Sunday. It's going to be fairly uninspiring, fairly low scoring because the Patriots, they're just awful. God. And I love it. I'm so happy that they stink. I hope that this is their football death sentence. You know what I mean? How many times did they beat us? How many times did they embarrass us? It's your time. But sadly, it's still our time. Like, we can't even flex. Oh, look at the Patriot fans. Suckers. How's it feel to suck? Well, it feels the same way to us because we still suck until proven otherwise. I do think they win. I don't think it's impressive. I think because of the win, the natural machinations of our minds, hey, it's the 3rd win. You start looking at the bottom of the wall card. You got this. You had the Colts down the road. It should be Jaguars down the road. Miami, all right, 2 is coming back. They'll be a little different, but and I hope that this doesn't happen for the young man's sake. But there's a chance he gets hurt again, and if he does, I mean, that's terrible with his concussions. That's actually really scary. Like, if that was my son, I'd look him in the eye and I'd say, you have to retire. That's what I would do. But he's a warrior, and he's not. But if he goes down again, they're cooked. So that could be 2 more wins. We will start to get the wheels churning. Here we go. And don't you think that it lines up? Now, I'm going to say perfectly, but it's really the absolute opposite of perfect. It lines up just to give us more pain. Beat the Pats, get win number 3, suddenly come to life a little. We talk all week about if they beat the Texans, and then the other things I just mentioned, the other very winnable games. And then they go on national TV and they look like shit. I mean, does anybody else think that that's not going to happen? Again, unkillable, a lot of pride, a lot of heart, a lot of resolve, resilience. Even me, because I don't believe in the fortitude of this team. I don't believe in their heart. I've already pointed out the football deficiencies. It doesn't take a coach to understand what they're good at and what they're not good at. All right, that's the easy stuff. I think the tougher thing is to identify what's inside. And what they've shown us right now, it's not much. Give you a good example real quick to start to wrap it up. The Giants, right? So now you talk a lot about the Giants. Giants aren't good. Giants have very little talent. A couple good players on defense. Neighbors is a beast. Thomas is great on the left side, but he's out. They don't have much. Jones is going to be gone. And now the conversation's back on Dable and Shane's job status. All right, well, I actually have confidence in Dable. Forget about Shane. His job is to get players. I have enough confidence in Dable to stabilize it so that even if they get smoked this upcoming game against the Steelers on national TV, and they probably will, he will find a way to make it look presentable enough like he did last year with Tommy DeVito on his backup, his 3rd stringer, to at least give Giant fans fuel to support him. And that's a real thing. Like, that's a real conviction. Give you another example. The Knicks. I was ugly. Knicks got waxed on opening night by the Celtics. They made the big Karl Anthony Towns move. I like it. I don't love it. I think they lost some heart. They're going to miss DiVincenzo, whatever. This is not a basketball podcast. But the point is, I've got great faith in Tom Thibodeau to fix up some defensive issues. Plus, the Celtics aren't going to shoot that well again ever. And I've got supreme confidence in faith in the steady hand and greatness of Jalen Brunson to, even if they languish early because they've got some new pieces, to eventually get the mojo, get it rolling, and become a team that's very dangerous and on the short list to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and beyond, probably by latest January. You know what I mean? The Jets, where's the confidence? It's blind. Do you believe in the owner? No. Do you believe in the head coach? How could you? I like Ulbrich, but come on. Do you believe in Joe Douglas? How many chances is Joe getting? Joe, I love you, but you haven't built a good team yet. You just haven't. Do you have confidence in Rodgers staying healthy or playing better? Not really. I don't. Do you have confidence in Tyron Smith, who has looked awful? Now, of course, we get all the legends when they're done. You get Ronnie Lott. Hey, Ronnie Lott's a Jet. Fantastic. Oh, it's this version of Ronnie Lott. Oh, the Jets got Tyron Smith. Oh, it's all right. It's the version that we were very fearful that we were getting. Tyron Smith on film looks bad, like to the point where he's whiffing on some moves where he's on the floor. And I think part of it's derived from a bad back, and he's getting older, and I get it, and he's a Hall of Famer, but he's not a Hall of Famer as a Jet. So who are we looking at that's going to say, you know what? Enough. Come follow me. I got it. I got you. And I thought that person was Rodgers. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. If you handed me, I got a couple notes I jot down for the pod. I like to just go off the top of the head, but I got a couple things I wanted to get in there, which I already did. But if you told me, hey, Brandon, here's a sheet of paper, and you can sign this contract the first week of camp, you will have 3 straight chances with the football to win the game with Rodgers. 0 for 1, 0 for 2, 0 for 3. Those are just facts. I mean, we can conjure up, again, some blind faith because he doesn't look very good. And without faith, I mean, why are we even doing this? There's no reason to watch. So there's got to be some of that. And there is. But, man, they have been a joke so far. They have been so disappointing. And they have been, in the sporting sense, the Jets have been a disgrace. I mean, it is very hard. Actually, it's almost impossible. I'm not sure I can think of another example. Forget about New York teams. Any teams where you're supposed to be in the mix for a Super Bowl and you get derailed to the point so badly that there's infighting and now you're a punching bag joke again. Don't get me wrong. Like when Vinny went down in '99, Parcells eventually pieced together a decent season. Should have gone to my boy Ray Lucas earlier instead of riding out Rick Myra, who was trash. But you knew Parcells would piece something together. These guys are going to piece something together. That's the hope, but that is not the belief right now. They'll win Sunday. It won't be incredibly impressive, and we'll talk about it. We'll move to the Texans, and then deep down, as we settle in, and my son wears his Rodgers jersey because he can't wear his Darnold or Wilson jersey to school anymore. Hey, Santa, stop bringing jerseys. Nobody stays. We'll sit on the couch, get our food ready, look at my Namath jersey, probably start pretty well, right? It's usually how it goes. And then you just think something's going to go wrong. And who's going to stop it? And that's the problem. Spread the word. I believe definitely, we've already talked about this. Me and my guy, Evan, we're going to start taking some live comments. So he'll bring them on the air after the game. I'll react to them in real time. And each week we'll add a new element. We'll build this thing out. We'll get more and more traction. And we'll just make it the best Jets podcast that we can make it. And it's always going to be rooted in hope. It's always going to be rooted in hope. But until it changes, it's always going to be rooted in the reality of we still suck. We still suck. All right, man. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll catch you on WFAN every day, 10 to 2 with my guy, Sal. and I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.